Good evening, I'm DACIA Richards with Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Ecuador. Ecuador President Daniel Noboa said on Sunday that his country will not receive deported migrants of other nationalities and criticized Venezuela's president for allegedly rejecting flights of Venezuelan migrants deported from the United States. Noboa, who will face off against leftist Luisa Gonzalez in an April 13 runoff election, said on X that Ecuador would always receive its own citizens deported from other countries because, quote, "we do not abandon our people," unquote. In his post, Noboa attacked Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro for, quote-unquote, rejecting flights of deported Venezuelans, calling it a, quote, complete lack of empathy, unquote. A day earlier, Maduro said that scheduled flights to bring home Venezuelan migrants from the United States had been affected by, quote, this unexplained tremendous commotion, unquote, after the Trump administration canceled a license allowing Chevron to operate in the South American country. Maduro and his government have always rejected sanctions by the United States and others, saying they are illegitimate measures that amount to an economic war designed to cripple Venezuela. Maduro and his allies have cheered what they say is the country's resilience despite the measures, though they have historically blamed some economic hardships and shortages on sanctions. While in Jamaica, 3 women have been charged with the brutal murder of Kevin Walker, the 42-year-old digital worker and businessman whose body was found in a barrel on Industrial Terrace in Kingston last month. They are 30-year-old Anita Vanzi, 29-year-old Shade Bennett, and 36-year-old Joanna Williams, a police statement said on Saturday. The 3 have been charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, simple larceny, being a part of a criminal organization, providing benefit to a criminal organization, misprision of felony, accessory before the fact, accessory after the fact, and preventing the lawful burial of a corpse. The police alleged that on Saturday, February 1, Walker was lured to Oxford Street by Vanzi, where he was accosted by 4 men and taken to a premises. He was allegedly robbed of his credit and debit cards, after which Vanzi and Bennett reportedly withdrew cash from a nearby ATM and returned to share the stolen money among their accomplices. Walker was then beaten and stabbed multiple times in the upper body before his lifeless body was stuffed into a blue barrel and dumped into a gully on Industrial Terrace later that day, the police say. A missing person report was filed for Walker on February 2 and an investigation was launched. The police say the following day, on February 3, they responded to a report of a body found in a barrel on Industrial Terrace. The body was transported to the hospital where Walker was officially pronounced dead. Further investigations led to the arrest of 3 women. On February 5, the police say they conducted a targeted raid at a premises on Mark Lane, where Anita Vanzi was found in possession of Walker's credit cards. Days later, Bennett and Williams were apprehended on Oxford Street. Walker, who worked at the telecoms firm Digicel, operated a small car rental and loan company. Walker was also former vice president of the National Police Youth Club. Finally, Latin American rights activists on Sunday warned of growing political threats to reproductive rights across the region as the United States rolls back access to abortion. Latin America has a patchwork of policies on reproductive rights. El Salvador has one of the world's strictest abortion laws, imposing homicide sentences for what rights activists say are miscarriages, while a top Colombian court ruled in 2022 that abortion is for up to 24 weeks from conception. Many countries in the region limit access to women or girls who can prove their pregnancy carries life-threatening risks or resulted from rape. often causing long delays past gestational week limits. In Argentina, where abortion is legal, activists pointed to funding cuts by the government of Libertarian President Javier Milei, an ally of U.S. President Donald Trump, that have effectively cut off access to abortion and restricted supplies of contraceptives. Bielski said state cuts had left a national helpline for gender violence nearly completely unmanned. Provinces were already reporting shortages of misoprostol and mifepristone, essential drugs for safe abortion, after the government froze funding for new purchases. Thank you for watching. Do have a productive week. Until next time.